good people, thank you so much for choosing Isinjuru TV. My name is Fabulous Nakaima Shamsha, here with the latest updates from Uganda. Please subscribe to this channel for the latest updates across the region.
I, Priscilla Mirembe Seruka, swear that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Uganda as Chairperson, Board of Directors, Uganda National Airlines Company Limited.
The Uganda government, through the Ministry of Works and Transport, has appointed a new board of directors for Uganda Airlines to replace one that was suspended last year. The Uganda Airlines board, led by Pereza Habwe, was last year disbanded on orders of President Museveni after chaos and infights involving the board, top management and officials from the Ministry of Works and Transport.
I want to congratulate you upon your appointment to the board for the next 3 years, which must be productive years. It is through your hard work and integrity that the appointing authority, i.e. the President, has given you an opportunity to serve the country as both chairperson and members of the board of directors.
We're particularly excited by the new board because of the composition that you have put together and the profiles, and especially in regard to their background in aviation, in management, and airline operations. So we're very excited. And on behalf of my team at Uganda Airlines and myself, we pledge our unwavering support to the new board and look forward to a continuous process of building our airline.
Among many other critical issues regarding airline operations, the development and execution of an effective business plan is key. Everybody has talked about this. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance, and has said this. The Minister of State for Finance, General Duties, who has been here, has said this. The airline must run as a business. This is a business. It's not a parastatal. We don't want to run it as the former parastatals of the country. Please don't expect ministers to say, I want this from the airline. It won't happen. This is a business arm, a business asset of the nation. And so it must be run as a business.
As a board, we consider it a great privilege and honor that we have been found worthy to serve the nation in the capacity of the board of our national airline. We accept this big responsibility and pledge to do our best for the good of our country. Uganda Airlines has been the pride of many Ugandans. And at the time it became public, it was being restated, many of us Ugandans felt very proud. I remember I used to work before I joined consultants in an organization where I used to do a lot of traveling. And I was glad that when I retired, I was able at least to travel on Uganda Airline. I made it my point, I will travel. I won't travel on KQ to Nairobi, but Uganda Airlines. So we are so proud of Uganda Airline. And I know many Ugandans have high aspirations and feel proud of Uganda Airlines. And they would love to see a prospering and strong airline. We pray that we'll not let down the many Ugandans who are looking at us to make this airline indeed a pride. And Madam Registrar, you said we begin with the oath and we end in court. I pray this shall not be so. We shall begin a new era where we shall end in dignity.
Your coming is timely, extremely timely, especially at a time when we are developing a new strategic plan for the new direction of our airline. So it's an exciting time for us, and we believe that you come on with great expertise to steer us in the right direction. We've received with great joy our renewal for the AOC, which we received yesterday. Yes, after a rigorous audit from the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. So at least we have a 1-year renewal. and our flights will be were up in the air by 5 p.m. yesterday, continuously without any disturbance. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the interim board. You were very, very helpful, extremely tough, but extremely helpful. You were able to fill the governance vacuum and enable us to continue operating without any hindrances.
The new board you have been sworn in, her worship process has simplified my speech a little bit. A few remarks I wanted to highlight, she has highlighted them. But 1 or 2 points to emphasize for the board is that you must at all times remember your fiduciary responsibility. We have put you there to do work on our behalf. I want to appeal to you to exercise this work with high level of integrity. Do not get into the challenges the previous board got into. Know your lines and do not cross them. Number 2, you have been put there for a purpose. And all of you are professionals and you have built your profiles over the years. I wouldn't wish to see any of you ending up where Prose mentioned, or ending up in another fora where you are being faulted for failure to exercise your responsibility duties.
As the law stipulates, you take an oath to get in office, and they usually say it begins by court and it ends in court. So I hope you won't end there. You will only begin there. It begins here and it ends here. When there are disputes, you finally come here. But I trust that you have come to court for the right reason, to inaugurate you in your office, to give you an oath. I urge you to follow the oath, both for the office and the oath of secrecy. We are in an era of social media, and officers are misusing that oath. Let's adhere to the oath of secrecy, and we do not divulge information anyhow, anywhere that can affect Uganda Airlines that you have been brought into office.
We started by disbanding the old board, which was quite a challenging process. We embarked on the process of identifying people to appoint as board members. Then also the interim board did some work in as far as evaluating staff issues were concerned. And now here we are today inaugurating the new board led by Madame Priska. I would like to congratulate you once again. And I want to say that in my life in the executive, and also my prior years, 10 years in Parliament, I had never heard of a situation where a board of government is appointed in a transparent manner like this one. And that is why I am extremely thankful to the Honorable Minister of Works.
We thank the government so much for the initiative to develop Uganda Air's transport industry, which makes us as Ugandans stand proud amongst other states in Eastern Africa.
In terms of the company structure, Uganda Airlines has got 2 shareholders. Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, we own 50% shareholding, and also Ministry of Works. owns another 50% shareholding. And no decision can take place with either of us absent. That is why I had to put aside all my morning engagements.
So help me God.
The president of Forum for Democratic Change, Patrick Aboya Moriet, has asked the government to conduct an inquiry on reports that some elements within the military are compliances in the criminal raids devastating Karamoja sub-region.
And this is almost an age-long challenge for this country, because this is something that started using primitive weapons like spears, especially clubs, and small local weapons, bows and arrows. This has graduated to a level where cattle rustling has become more and more sophisticated. Light arms are used, automatic weapons are used against unarmed communities. The FDC continues to raise concern over the insecurity in the northeastern part of the country caused by marauding cattle rustlers, especially in Karamoja. And we have reports that approximately 1,626 suspected rustlers are reported arrested. 291 of those are reported to have been prosecuted. Just that, small number. That's a very small fraction. We are concerned about gruesome pictures of alleged rustlers coming from Karamoja, which continue to be shared in the media, especially social media, and these are rising after Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba swore to go after the warriors. He said, now that you have killed members of my army, my brothers and sisters of Karamoja, I am coming for you. And this did not just remain a threat, something that has been actualized. And so reports reaching us indicate that even innocent civilians who are not involved in the raiding at all have lost their lives in tens. And this borders to a violation of human rights of innocent civilians in this region. While this is happening, raids continue to happen in the districts within and neighboring Karamoja, especially Kaplebyong, Katakwi, Kumi, Bukedia. These are in Teso region, and Abim in Karamoja, and then Agago in Acholi, where scores of lives have been lost and massive displacement of people continues on a daily basis. People live in squalid conditions and they live without food and shelter. Some of them are actually in camps in the areas of Opedur, Okungur, in Okoboy, in Magoro, in Tisai. These are areas, bordering the Karamoja sub-region. It is sad that although there are reports that over 14,000 livestock have been recovered from the ongoing joint operation between the UPDF and the Uganda People's Force, return of livestock to the rightful owners has not yet happened. The purpose of recovery should be to take away these cows and other form of livestock from those who are not the rightful owners and giving this back to the rightful owners. Although the recoveries have happened, the cows are not coming back. And so the question that begs is, where are these cows actually going? Where are these goats and sheep actually going? We challenge government to ensure return of stolen livestock to the rightful owners. We also demand an inquiry on reports that some elements within the Ugandan military are accomplices in the criminal raids devastating the region. Information that we have indicates that this cattle raiding has turned into a business. And the UPDF, some elements within the UPDF are actually involved. And so we want to challenge the establishment to become very clear on who is doing what in fueling the already bad situation in the region. We also would like to demand that a thorough investigation be conducted on the killing of civilians by the military, innocent civilians by the military, and those who are found to be culpable should face the wrath of the law.
After 1 year of existence, the Uganda driver licensing system rates their performance at 80%, having successfully replaced the bureaucratic acquisition of driver's permit that would last for over a month to a 48-hour process.
On the 1st of March 2021, we converged here at this same venue to launch the commencement of Uganda driver licensing system services across all regional stations. Today, we take stock of our performance in the last 1 year, reflect on the achievements and challenges that we have encountered in the course of 1 year of UDLS operations. Within the first 1 year of operations, a total of 244,189 driving licenses were issued against a set target of 300,000. And I hope you know the challenges of COVID. I think that's why we couldn't achieve the target. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Ministry of Works and Transport, allow me to thank the board and management of Uganda Security Printing Company, together with your partners, Verdos, for this milestone. The ministry does not only measure performance in terms of numbers of driving licenses issued, but importantly by the level of service being offered to the general public. I think every day we get messages from the general public, especially from our principal communications officer, how customers appreciate this service. And I think the ministry is pledging to improve this every other day. A service level agreement was signed between the ministry and USPC, which is Uganda Security Printing Company. And one of the key performance indicators of this service level agreement is to issue a driving license within an hour from the time a customer enters the facility and have their details captured to the time of issuing the driving license. This has been done consistently to the satisfaction of the customers.
Our target is to bring services near to the people. We plan in the near future to launch a mobile enrollment platform whereby we shall go closer to the people who cannot travel to the offices. We have 6 branches, they have said, but some may not reach those branches, so anytime we know we shall plan and start enrolling at the areas where people are very far from our branches of operation. And more so, bring services more near to the people. We shall come to you with an action plan to open new branches in the new cities which have been launched in the country. So as we go for those cities, we expect that once a city is declared, it's a political entity, and they expect to have more services brought near to the people. So we are of view that in our next program, we shall come to you and you request that you support us, like you have already supported us, to make sure that the 6 cities which will come on board, we put up new offices in those cities so that we try to bring services extremely nearer to the people.
What are the benefits other than this quick time this brings? USPC is now a company created to do all security documents and systems. We will have over 100 employees in the factory. So we're bringing capacity, we're bringing knowledge, we're bringing intelligence into local people in Uganda, not only in the driver's license, but also with the passport system, with the ID system. There will be very, very high technology being transferred to local capacity. USPC is growing in areas of implementation, of software and hardware maintenance, and so on and so forth. So not only do we implement these systems, but we're bringing knowledge to people into the country.
I know sometimes people will come with different documents. You know, either the national ID is talking of, because now we are using NIN. For you to obtain a driver license, you must have a national ID. Now, more often, there are some people who like using longer names, even more than necessary. So you find I need like a whole full scap to put my name. So sometimes it's a challenge. National ID talks of 4 names. The last time when you renewed your driving license, it has 2 names.
Over time, it has significantly reduced because of the knowledge transfer through the comms on the requirements. That was the biggest point. They would come here with insufficient requirements. They don't have their national IDs. They don't have images of them. They don't know where to pick them from. However, just to highlight a few of the instances that we have seen as the repeated cases. Some clients come with assessments from URA, imagining that those are payments. So unless payments are actually verified on the system with URA, those can't work. And we see them calling their driving school agents and all their brokers, telling them that the payments are not reflected. So there is a back and forth between the client and the third party, the other side, and that usually takes some time. Usually, some of them want to test the system to see if an assessment is equal to a payment, and we keep telling them it doesn't. Then the other category are those who go to test at the Naguru, and for some reason they come here immediately thinking that the certificates from Naguru are the facilities. So they keep calling their either contacts at the IOV's office, who keep promising them that they are bringing them. But those are system requirements. Without the physical evidence, then we cannot work on you. We are only courteous to allow you to wait in the anticipation that that will be done. And some of them are very stubborn, but we keep trying to address that. The others are an interesting category. You go to NIRA in the morning, you submit your documentation, thinking that it has been updated on their system. In most cases, some people here have their IDs that they have never noticed the gender. So when you look at it, your male, it shows F. So they notice then and they want to go back. Or they come here, they want 3 names on their national IDs, but they're different names on the system. And we keep sending them back once we identify the anomalies. But when they go to Kololo and they submit, they expect that that happens in real time, and they choose to sit here and wait.
What that doesn't mean is that you must now go to NIRA. Because for us, the master document now is NIRA. That's the national ID. Any document, security document to be issued, we rely on the data from NIRA. Now, that's one of the other areas that we need to cross-check.
The system itself has never really gone down. What's gone down is, for example, the link to NIDA. We check the people, the system checks that the person coming with his ID or copy of the ID is the true person. The data that comes into our system comes from NIDA. We've had issues with the leased lines, and now we're working on putting a backup line to bring the efficiency from 98 to 99.9. So that sometimes we have a half a day that the system doesn't work, and that causes an issue. But the main message is, if I came here at 2 o'clock, there was nobody in line to wait to be administered and to go through within 15 minutes. At 8 in the morning, there are about 700-800 people that come at the same time. That's why we have these tents. So the message is, the office is open till 6 in the afternoon. If you come in the afternoon, you will not wait at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the National Road Safety Policy and the National Development Plan 3, NDP 3, mandates the ministry to strengthen, harmonize policy, legal, regulatory, and institutional framework. Therefore, the delivery of this new driving license is one step in the right direction, and the government also plans to, among other things, streamline administration of motor vehicle registration, improve driver training and testing regime, improve road safety management and coordination, as well as enhance road safety education by 2025.
For keeping it Isinjuru TV, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more of the latest updates across the region.